Hello and welcome back to Bendy and the Ink Machine. I wanted to record Chapter 3, but I beat the game, and there's a lot of light changes throughout the chapter, which makes it very hard to record. So, I want to make this video informational. And you can learn about the game's past. So I'm going to select my chapter right here. Select chapter. The archives. This is unlocked once you beat the game. And I'd love to show this to you. This was really fun to look at. And so that's why I really want to record this. So first of all, welcome to the archives. Bendy and the Ink Machine began when the developer cartoonist known as the Meatly experimented with bringing a sketched 2D style into 3D world. After turning the idea into a horror game, Chapter 1 of the game was created in a little under a week with programmer friend Mike Mudd and released on February 10th, 2017. Time flies by, man. Much to their surprise, it stuck a short with global indie game almost overnight. The Meatly Mike Mudd decided to drop all their projects to work on Bendy and tell those unique Ink story. The entire game was completed a chapter at a time. And a year and a half all through the concepts and story remained as originally intended. The game changed over development as characters and models were refined from their early thrown together versions. This archive is a peek behind the scenes at that process. There you go. Now let's talk about the guy we play as. Henry Stein. Once an equal business partner of Joey Drew, Henry Stein was a talented animator and character designer until leaving the company around 1930. His place in Joey Drew Studios' history is somewhat undocumented, but he is often rumored to be the true creator behind many of the studio's most memorable characters. That is true in my opinion. And you get the logo here, Joey Drew Studios. Okay, so first we're going to be looking at all of Bendy models, starting with the concept Bendy. See right here, this was the first version of Bendy ever modeled. In the earliest concepts, Bendy was much smaller and cuter, with a face that split open to reveal a terrifying mouth. Yeah, that's the concept. That's what they were thinking of before they made this. Alpha Bendy. This guy right here. This is the original game use design of Ink Bendy from the earliest version of Chapter 1. It is jokingly referred as bird poop with a smile among the development team. Bird poop. Yeah. Beta Bendy. This was Ink Bendy's form until the release of Chapter 4. At the time, the game received a major visual upgrade, and the title character got a new model as well. Yeah. That's what it looks like until Chapter 4. Now, Ink Bendy. Ink Bendy, as we know him today. Although similar to Beta Bendy, this upgrade version was modeled and enhanced with higher polygon count and given new ink effects. That's the buddy now. Pretty interesting, not gonna lie. And Beast Bendy, eat Bendy's horrific final form in Chapter 5, pulled away the cartoon facade and revealed the demon within. I'm not going to show this guy because that would be spoilers. Beta Searcher. Early in development was just a few weeks to create Chapter 2. The beta searchers were designed in record time before being fully retooled later on. They were the first fighting enemies encountered in the game. This guy looks pretty derpy, not gonna lie. You didn't see anything. The final searcher. The final searchers were far more reversed in appearance. They were smoother with better ink effects and more human appearance. Yeah, these guys were annoying. They are hard to miss fight. Well, in a future video, yes, they will be. This is not pre-recorded. Okay, who cares anymore? Let's look at Beast Bendy. Here he is. Look at this dude right here. It's not like anybody's gonna watch this video until you reach 6 minutes. Yeah, most of the viewers just stay for like a couple seconds and then they leave. If you're interested, just watch the video, you know? If you get interested, yeah. This is Beta Sammy Lawrence. With his first appearance in Chapter 2, fan favorite Sammy Lawrence became a terrifying, entertaining character. When his slim build was deemed not threatening enough, he was redesigned and given a better skeletal ridge and more advanced animation. Yeah. He's kind of ugly looking. Look at those. He doesn't have any build. He's just slim. But if you watch my previous video, this is what the guy looks like now. Well, he looks like a powerhouse. He looks creepy. Final Sammy. Sammy Lawrence's final form came to complete with a bulked up in stature and more powerful limbs. The main songwriter may finally get noticed now, at least by the fans. Yeah, he's way more threatening. Look at that face. There's no soul behind it. Well, if you want, this is a lost one. This is what a lost one looks like. Basically, it's a worker. A suffering one. Okay, so now, this is stuff for like Chapter 3 and everything. But, teaser. This is Alice Angel. And if I use my definitely accurate lore thoughts, this is Susie. And when I record Chapter 3, you'll figure out who Susie really is. Well, there's a tape for Susie, in the second chapter, but most of you didn't even make it that far. And this right here, this is Alice. We just call her Alice. She's not important. But Tom. Yeah, Tom's more important. Look at this dude. This arm right here, as I was finishing my first playthrough, I realized one of the tapes in Chapter 4, it talked about like a Bendy animatronic, and you get to see the animatronic to your right, and it's missing a hand. Tom took that hand and used it. And we actually get to figure out who this guy is. This is Thomas Connor. You'll see. Yeah, it's Thomas Connor. He's a really cool dude. Trust me. You want to see the original Boris? Here you go. What the ugly looking thing. Beta Boris, Papa, was the original name for the character that eventually became Boris the Wolf. This early version was released with Chapter 1. He was quickly refined to the Boris we know today with the release of Chapter 2. Yeah, that looks pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. The only detail is just an open cage. Yeah. And here's Boris the Wolf, the legend, the myth that is no longer in Dark Revival, but he is shown on outside the map and stuff. You get small glimpses of him, but you never get to visually see him anymore. Bless him. Boris the Wolf. Boris the Wolf, a friend to the end, was designed. Keyword, the end, was designed using various references from the cartoons of the 1920s, a blend of the West Coast and East Coast animation styles. This silent and supportive wolf won over the hearts of many, including me. Although at times he was a headache for the development team due to his AI taking on a mind of its own during production. I mean, yeah, he didn't want to be controlled. He wanted to do his own thing. I mean, yeah, he don't want to be controlled. But sadly, keyword, the end, it's false. Chapter 4, this is the guy right here. It's the same boss right here. What happened here is that Alice Angel, aka Susie, stuffed him very badly. She killed Boris and put some stuff in him. I could say killed because it's further in the video. Brute Boris. As Angel's monstrosity, Brute Boris was one of the biggest surprises of Chapter 4. His design was roughly based on the Frankenstein monster, but with more unfinished appearance. Alice took parts from within him and substituted things that his body was rapidly rejecting. Yeah. I feel sorry. He got sacrificed to become something that we have to fight. Yeah, that sucks, man. Ooh, nice art. Okay. So, we're not done here yet. We're gonna look at the original ink machine. If you watched my first video, you know what it looks like now. So, this is the original ink machine. Before a major visual upgrade, this version of the ink machine was one used in the game. Much of the machine's iconic fan-loved design was translated into the final version. The final version is the same concept, it's just bigger and more design to it than just, oh look, here's a machine. Plunk, there goes ink Bendy. Oh, look at that, he's boarded up the walls. Oh no, he's gonna chase us. Yeah. We will not talk about this guy. We'll talk about him in the future. This is the Butcher Gang. You'll see them in the future as well. The Butcher Gang, the Piper, Striker, and Fisher made the Dread Butcher Gang. Interestingly, the ink-corrupted versions of the characters were designed first and then were reversed, engineered back into their more family-friendly cartoon forms. That is not a family-friendly cartoon form. That is pretty creepy. If you look at Striker's head, you see the little teeth up here. Yeah, that's going to relate to Dark Revival, those spiders. Ugh. Those spiders. Yeah. Now let's take a look at the art, because we didn't get a good look at him. You know, yeah. Hopefully the camera can catch all of these. This is like, yeah, this was the first ink Bendy design, like the AKA bird poop. Yeah, that was it right there. And we looked up here, this was what Beast Bendy was. Yeah, Beast Bendy that's great art right there. I don't know why my camera just chooses to change color. Just right here. This is referencing to... Let me think. I think it's chapter 5. Yeah, it's chapter 5. On our way to the Searcher Village or something, this guy comes out of the ink and starts chasing us, and we have to unclog the boat and stuff. I won't get too deep into that. And we get to see, like, the original Sandy Lawrence. There we go, it's pretty interesting. That's Piper. That's Straker. And that's Fisher, the most annoying one. We get to see the lost one. And these two, yeah. I don't see a difference. Now this is with the ink machine or Bendy's lair and stuff. That's the shrine, and we saw this right here. And if you look at the top, oh crap, Bendy and the ink machine. Yeah. I hope you found this enjoyable. A couple of my subscribers will probably be the only ones who watched this far or the entire way through, because I really have to think about how chapter 3 will work for my recording, because it's gonna be tough with a bunch of color, like light changes. Yeah, it gets pretty bad. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. That was the history of Bendy and the Ink Machine. And yeah, hope this was valuable information. And I hope you found this interesting like I did. Now let's go on a stroll. I haven't recorded much because of school. Of course, that's a thing. But yeah, I'm starting to take, my breaks are usually around weekends, because, like, come on, it's a weekend, I should might as well enjoy it. Bye.